Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for Interleague Boys Soccer. Peabody from the Northeastern Conference taking on St. Mary's from the Catholic Central League. Mike D'Agostino, the head guy for St. Mary's. Stan McKean, who's a very good friend, does a great job with Peabody. Also does a terrific job with the girls' basketball team at Peabody, although he lost a very good player. His best player transferred to a prep school, I think. So he was looking to have a big year again this year with Peabody girls, but he graduated a couple and he lost his best player. And this is a first, by the way. St. Mary's taking on Peabody. They've never played each other. And they've been two very good programs in the area, although St. Mary's is down. They graduated just about everybody from last year. Anybody that could keep the ball out of the net, goalie, defense, anybody who could put the ball in the net, graduated. And Mike D'Agostino, hard pressed, he's actually has like a 7th and 8th grader starting. Mike Gallego is in net for St. Mary's. Dominic Kuna in net for Peabody. Peabody is senior laden with a dozen seniors. They have one freshman and one sophomore. We're underway. Peabody in the white, St. Mary's in their blue and white. And Mary's carried it down, they kick it out. Big day here at Manning Field for St. Mary's. They've got this soccer game, and then they got their second football game, looking to go 2-0 under Coach Driscoll. Taking on South Boston and Jermaine Satterwhite, the head coach, along with Melvin Locke, an assistant, both Lynn People coming back for the first time. Although Satterwhite was here for a while, he was an assistant at English, then he was an assistant at Salem. So it'll be a homecoming of sorts. Satterwhite first time as the head coach. For both these teams, it's going to be hard pressed to pick up numbers. Peabody's got white shirts, but they got like powder blue numbers on the back. And St. Mary's has got the dark shirts with the dark gold colors. So they really make it tough for us up here in the press box. And I know it's not baseball season, but if you think you're hearing the crack of a bat on your TV screens, you are, because Fisher College is having their tryouts for their baseball team. And they have their tryouts and they play their games at Frazier Field. And they do a great job helping keep Frazier Field clean and perfect and a great place to come and play, both home teams and visitors. St. Mary's trying to get there and keep it in. They do, they throw it out in front. Peabody picks it off and clears it away. Yeah, we're going to get a call. There was bumping and pushing and banging around. And they called it on Peabody. Maroney wasn't part of it, but they called it on Peabody. LeBron will kick it away. LeBron is one of those few returnees for St. Mary's. Kick goes all the way through. They call St. Mary's offside. It went by. They were trying to line up a kick Just as they were trying to line it up, they blew the whistle because St. Mary's was behind everybody. Peabody winds up with it. They send it to the middle, deflected away, and it deflected toward the net, cleared away. LeBron, they had Mackey playing that center field position last year. Left, he was all everything. State, New England. Now LeBron gets the job. Trying to center it. St. Mary's is there to keep it away. Peabody keeping it in. They tried to go down the far side. They went too far. It went out of play. St. Mary's looking for their second win of the season. By this time, 5 or 6 games into the season, they're halfway to qualifying for the tournament. Normally, they're going to be hard-pressed to do that this year with so many young people. Peabody takes the shot. Gallego gets a good look at it, knocks it down with 2 hands, and he'll kick it away. Drives it just past midfield. Popped up, and it's going to go out of play. Just inside St. Mary's territory. Peabody will get the throw in. Deep down the far side. St. Mary's gets a foot in there and knocks it out. Peabody will get the throw in down deep. That almost looked like a corner kick. He got that way in front. That's a great throw in. Right to the middle of the field. Peabody got a head on it. Gallego had to make the save. That's an outstanding throw in. Peabody trying to squeeze through a couple of defenders. They do. They take the shot, and it goes wide right and out of play. Peabody coming down the far side, trying to walk in. They throw it out in front. Knocked away. Headed back, trying to keep it alive. They do. They take the shot, and they slice it off to the right side and out of play. Back and forth. Peabody has had a little bit of an edge. St. Mary's hasn't come close to Cooner in net. Peabody knocks it away. St. Mary's takes it away. They finally get out of that maze of players and get the ball upfield. Tipped ahead. Peabody coming back. Trying to walk in. They take the shot from long range. The ground ball fielded by Gallego. He went down to make sure it didn't get through. And he'll kick it away again. So Peabody getting some shots on net, but Gallego was able to get a good look and make the save. They knock it deep. And it was Niccolo breaking wide open. Looked very good, and it was too good. He was offside. Another shot by Peabody. This one goes wide left. It's become a shooting gallery for Peabody here in the early going. Broken up by the Spartans. Trying to knock it deep, headed away by Peabody. Nice little push by, and then Peabody knocks it out. Kyle Hughes with that nice little push by. Dylan Maroney with the throw-in. Peabody takes it away, knocks it deep. Yeah, we got a whistle. They're going to get St. Mary's for making the contact. They called that on Connor Hamill. Peabody passing the ball well, getting a shot. They just haven't got a real quality shot. They got shots on net, but nothing that Gallego hasn't had a good look at and able to make the save. St. Mary's with a rush, trying to get by. Peabody tips it. They're not going to get to it. It goes out. It was Nicholas Sablone, or Sabloni, I'll say it both ways, who got that little tip away. Well, it looked like St. Mary's might have a break. Broken up. PB tips it away. And he tipped it away again. Broken up. PB gets it back. After a couple of people got their foot on it. In the middle. PB looking for a break. And they get it. They got loose. They finally got all those shots on net. They finally banged it home. And Peabody grabs a 1-0 lead. It's hard enough to pick up the light blue numbers on the back of their shirts, but then when they score and you're waiting for them to turn around so maybe you could see it, and then all of a sudden there's 5 or 6 players celebrating, it's hard to pick out the right player. Peabody won that ball between 3 defenders, and they're right back at it. They knock it deep. St. Mary's trying to let it go out of play. Now they have to play it. They tip it over to LeBron. LeBron kicked it out, and he kicked himself after he did it because Peabody's now going to get a corner kick. He didn't want to do that. If nothing else, he would kick it to the sideline. Didn't want to kick it by the end line, give them a scoring opportunity. From the far side, everybody breaking. They line it out in front, couple of heads on it, and it winds up on top of the net, falling down behind. And they're calling it the header off St. Mary's. So they're going to get another kick from the far side. They'll get to do it again. Everybody milling around. Peabody waiting to break to the net. Everybody breaks. Kick went behind the net, and I think it was touched by a Peabody player that was behind everybody. So Gallego's going to get a chance to kick it away.
Non-contact sport.
It's been all Peabody so far. St. Mary's hasn't come close to getting a shot on net. That little collision, Schroeder of Peabody got called. He got called climbing the back of Aiden Sullivan. Ryan Freer with the free kick, and now it gets knocked out by Peabody out of play. Throw goes right to Peabody, and they knock out again. From just about in front of the Peabody bench to throw in. Popped up. They let it go out. St. Mary's will get the throw in a little bit deeper. They haven't been down this way in a while. And Peabody takes it away very quickly and clears it away. They were trying to get downfield to Kyle Joyce. He's the only sophomore on this team. They split two defenders walking in. They slided out in front. Shot got blocked. Nice job by LeBron. And now Peabody blocks it. Count Morphus was the guy that got the goal for Peabody. Down the far side, trying to throw it in front. Peabody got a foot on it. Gallego had to dive and make the stop. It was going inside the near post off the foot of Kyle Joyce. Loose. Peabody kicks it away. Taking it away was Perez. It rolls all the way back to the goaltender, Cunha. Peabody knocks it away. Off 3 or 4 heads. St. Mary's looking for it finally. And they bang it out off Peabody. In the past years, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders were lucky to get some JV time at St. Mary's. Now they're starting games for St. Mary's with this full-blown rebuilding year. Like anything else. Bruins, Celtics, Red Sox, Patriots, everybody goes through it. Cleveland Browns are certainly going through it. As Freer knocks it out. Kicking it to the net. All out dive. I'm not sure that would have worked because the only thing out in front get a piece of the ball was his hand, and that wouldn't have counted. He couldn't get a head on it. But a little bit of a swan dive. He got a 9.5 for the dive. Peabody knocks it loose, and they keep it in. Down the far side. St. Mary's gets a foot in, knocks it out. He's trying to clear it away. They knock it out of play. Peabody from right in front of the St. Mary's bench. Broken up. Broken up again. Peabody back checking, took it away. Knocking it deep. St. Mary's forced to knock it out. Prosalis will throw it in. Peabody takes it away. Yeah, we got contact of some type. Here's a get a free kick from just inside the 15-yard line. I'm not sure what it is. It's an object in the right between the 40 and 45-yard line, and the sun is shining. It really deflects a bright light. I don't know what it is down there. I hope it doesn't wind up with somebody tripping or falling on it or get hurt because of it. Everybody's running by it. Nobody's looking at it. It may not be reflecting as hard down on the field as it is up here in the press box. Initially, I thought somebody lost his shoe. Peabody went down. They don't call it. They get it ahead. Peabody with a break, tipping it ahead. Trying to get a shot off. It got blocked and knocked out of play. They must have just picked it up. Corner kick from the near side this time. And everybody breaks to the net. Line drive, deflected, out in front, cleared away nicely by St. Mary's. Peabody battling, and they take it away. Any little skirmish, Peabody's coming away with the loose ball. And that's that experience. We told you they got about a dozen seniors. Gets deflected back to the Peabody end. And they'll let it go all the way. Acuna pops it high in the air. Yeah, they missed the header, but they got a piece of it, knocked it down. Another header they missed. Another header they missed. Peabody winds up with it. They get it by. Still controlling. They get it by again. They just kept it in. St. Mary steps in and takes it away. Trying to get the shot off. Couldn't. They went so deep they couldn't get the shot off. Peabody out in front tips it away. Best opportunity for St. Mary's. They went very deep. And now they call St. Mary's offside. They never got back. They turned around quickly when the ball was going back the other way. thought I was going crazy. LeBrun will take the kick. Haskell knocks it down. They get it. Trying to center it, they bang it off. Peabody out. St. Mary's will get a corner kick. And before they do that, we're going to get a timeout. So Peabody got the goal from Kyle Morphus, and that's the difference right now. It's 1-0 Peabody in this first ever meeting of Peabody and St. Mary's, and we got a timeout down the field. Back out of the timeout. St. Mary's going to get that corner kick coming from the near side, trying to get something close to Cunha. Everybody picking a partner. Everybody's ready. They line drive it, headed away, knocked away, and Classical got a shot, and it was bouncing maybe a little more than knee high. It bounced up, and he tried to knock it in the net, and they knocked it wide. They couldn't get the ball down on the ground. I think it was Perez. Had one shot at it, but he had to go up almost like he was swinging a baseball bat at a baseball. It was well down. St. Mary's lets it go. They'll get another corner kick. But it bounced up maybe around the waist, and he had to swing that foot, try to get a piece of it, rather than have it set up and get a good, solid kick. Coming from the far side this time. Again, everybody picking a partner. Looks like a straight line out in front of the net. Everybody breaking. They get it up. Goes by everybody. St. Mary's will track it down. Peabody picked it off. Peabody boots it away and boots it out. St. Mary's will get the throw in. They head it to the net. It bounced by the defender. Cunha came out, grabbed it, and throws it out to midfield. They knock it very deep. LeBrun back there heading it away. And Peabody beats everybody to it. They get it in the middle. They get around trying to center it, deflect it away. They fanned on it, left it in front. Peabody almost walked in. St. Mary's collects. They knock it very deep. Not going to be able to get there before Cunha comes out and plays it. Bouncing around. St. Mary's winds up with it. Blocked. Peabody gets it back. Try and knock it deep. Blocked and knocked down. And now we got a takedown. They got wrapped up. They took Freya down. LeBrun will take the free kick. This is just about where he took the kick from before. Virtually the same spot. He can get it close to the net. Line drives it. It went off the back. I think that's Perez again. It skipped by everybody. It actually went off the back of Perez. And when it deflected, it went right to the goaltender. So St. Mary's can't get a break with those. Peabody right back. Two Peabody players. Everybody, you got it? No, I got it. No, get it? You get it. Nobody got it. And it went into the St. Mary's bench area. Two players breaking for the ball, and everybody thought the other one had it. St. Mary's trying to center it from one side to the other. Peabody trying to let it go out of play. St. Mary's kept it in. Now Peabody clears it away. And Maroney trying to kick it in. It got blocked and knocked out by Fazolo. And I think St. Mary's looking to get it. Peabody looking to get a head on it. I think they called Hamill getting a hand on it. Peabody knocks it deep. LeBron heads it back. St. Mary's knocks it very deep. Nobody back there except the goalie. And he'll kick it away. Out past midfield, headed back by St. Mary's. Peabody steps in, knocks it away, and knocks it out. Right to the ball boy. Maroney with the throw-in, but we'll get substitutions. Massive for Peabody. One for St. Mary's. They're like 4 new players, Peabody. St. Mary's doesn't have that luxury. They only got a couple of people on the bench. I think St. Mary's only has 3 or 4 subs. They got some people hurt. Knocked away. Peabody coming back. Right down the middle, trying to walk in. They take the shot. Gallego made the save. Bobbled it momentarily, but grabs it with 2 players. The closest being Kyle Joyce. St. Mary's can move it, but they can't get any shots on the Peabody net. And Peabody just takes it away. And they're right back on the St. Mary's end. Obviously, they have a goal, but they've come close a couple of times. Nice little shift. Trying to throw it in the middle. Behind the back. Point blank shot. Gallego made the save. A little behind the back pass. Set up a golden opportunity. And Gallego held the post and made the save. And that hurt because he's down. He took the brunt of that shot. He's getting up. He's gagged in the trainer, and Nicole coming out, check on him. That was like point blank range, a foot or 2 away, and they just drilled it. He held the post, made the save, and went down, and he's trying to stretch it off and shake it off. That ball is not a cushion. That's solid. That's why I always talk about. They always talk about concussions in football. I'm looking at this sport where how many times during the course of the game do they get their head on the ball or bang heads with another player? And very easily it could wind up being a concussion. Gallego's going to the sideline. I think he has to go out momentarily. Who's that? That might be Miffy Chen taking over in net. And when this happens, usually it's like a courtesy for both teams. They just drop the ball. Peabody just kicks it out of play. St. Mary's will get the throw in, and quickly back is Gallego. They kick it all the way back to Cunha. And Peabody moving it very well. It gets knocked out. And it's Perez knocking it out. In the middle, trying to line up a kick. Getting around, they got the shot off, deflected away again, and they couldn't knock it in. Gallego had it, bobbled it. They reached for it, couldn't get it, bobbled it again. They had a almost step over or on Gallego, and they just reached out a foot, and they knocked it wide and out of play. I think that was Joyce in front of the net. Gallego had it, bobbled it, couldn't get a foot on it. Joyce couldn't get a foot on it to knock it away. Gallego was reaching for it. He bobbled it again. It was behind them, but they couldn't reach around and get a good whack at it. All they could do is just get a half a foot and just touch it. And they reached around Gallego and knocked it wide. That would have been a huge goal to give up very late in this first half. Peabody will knock it out. Headed away by Peabody. And Peabody picks off the pass. And they start it back again. Deep. St. Mary's knocks it out. Peabody passing around, getting everybody involved. And they guessed that somebody was going to break to the net, and they didn't. And the pass picked off. But Peabody gets it right back. And it's sliding and wound up sitting on the turf and knocking it out of play with St. Mary's. I think that was Freya. They knock it clear across field. Peabody holding on to it. St. Mary's knocks it loose. Peabody beats him for the loose ball. Gets around, beats him again. St. Mary's picked it off. Headed away by Peabody. Deflected off St. Mary's. And Peabody bangs it off St. Mary's. They get it through on the throw-in. Peabody trying to walk in, going through a couple of defenders. Gallego makes the save. He tried to save it from going off past the end line and keep it in play. He did that, but he had to reach over the end line, and it went out of play, and Peabody will get a corner kick. Tough shot from a tough angle, but they beat two defenders to get there, and Gallego made the nice save. He's keeping St. Mary's in this, down only 1-0. Could be a few more. Out in front, they got a piece of it, then they got another piece of it, and knocked it out of play. I think that was the freshman, Victor Maciel. St. Mary's will make a couple of subs. They only have 5 players on the bench. One of them is the backup goaltender. Trying to knock it deep. Blocked. To the far side. Tip. Controlled by Peabody. Trying to walk in. Tough shot. They got another shot off from a tough angle, and it went off the side of the net. We're going to St. Mary's player hurt. And Ms. Gagner's going to be called on again. Not an easy day for these players. Weather a couple of days this week were nice and cool and comfortable, and now it gets really warm out there. And especially go down on that turf, it gets even warmer. Now the St. Mary's player is up, and he's under his own steam. He's walking to the sideline. So it's good to see. Thank God for that. You don't want to see anybody get hurt in this non-contact sport. If I'm reading it correctly with that sun shining right on the scoreboard, it looks like it says 6 minutes. I didn't read it right. It's 5. So the clock stops. This is the new rule this year with soccer. Used to be play it down to 2 minutes, and the officials take over in the last 2 minutes. But now it's shut the clock off in the last 5 minutes, and the officials handle it down on the field. And one of those new rules, it used to be you're making substitutions, the clock keeps running. But now, in the last 5 minutes, if the team up a goal makes a substitution, the official, instead of letting the clock run, they shut the clock off while the subs are going in and out. And if you do that enough, you could extend that 5 minutes to 6, 7, or 8. Free kick coming from the 25-yard line. Peabody knocked it in their net. It went off a Peabody player into the net. Connor Hammer with the kick. He drilled it. The Peabody player stepped and was trying to kick it out of play, and he kicked it in his own net. So Peabody has dominated basically through this first half, and with time winding down, they could go in at halftime at 1-1. St. Mary's takes it away. They get around, looking for the shot. Nice shot by Perez. Nice save by Cunha. Good hard shot. Bounce off the goaltender out of play. St. Mary's will get a corner kick. What a strange turn of events. Cunha's made a couple of saves, but they were never easy. But you got a good look from a distance. Not a really difficult save. And then all of a sudden, the free kick from St. Mary's, it looked like it was going to go right to the goaltender. The Peabody player stepped out. He was trying to kick it away from the net, and he kicked it into the net. Shot blocked out in front. Popped up, headed away. Trying to walk in. Down close. They knocked it out. Did it go off the goaltender? Gallego came out. It was going to go wide anyway, but Gallego came out to block it, so it went off him. Peabody will get a corner kick with time winding down. A huge break for the Spartans to tie this game up. They try to tip it up. They knock it behind the net. St. Mary's will make a couple of substitutions. Hamill should get credit for the goal. Popped up. Peabody keeps it alive. And a little bit of a collision. They call it against Peabody. St. Mary's will get the free kick. Out off St. Mary's. Can't be a lot of time left. As they say that, they blow the whistle, and that's going to end the half. So Gallego had to make some big-time saves. One of them almost knocked him out of the game. Peabody, territorial-wise, dominated, and they scored the goal by Kyle Morphus to take. They had the 1-0 lead all the way through, and very late in the game, it was Connor Hamill with the free kick. He drilled it. The Peabody player, defender, stepped out. He was the only one who had a shot at it. He was going to kick it out of play. Instead, he kicked it in his own net, and that's where we are at halftime. St. Mary's won, Peabody won. Just about set to start the second half, 1-1. Surprising 1-1. Peabody scored. They kept St. Mary's bottled up. They had several chances. Could be 3-4 to nothing at the time. Gallego made a couple of really nice saves. They had a lot of shots on net. St. Mary's couldn't get anything really going. And all of a sudden, a free kick from Connor Hamill. He drilled it going to the center of the net. The Peabody defender stepped out, got a foot on it, going to kick it out of play. Instead, he kicked it in the back of his net. So an own goal by Peabody has tied the game at 1-1. Hamill, I guess, will get credit for it. St. Mary's will certainly take it. And St. Mary's will let it go out of play. But Peabody passed it, moved it well. St. Mary's, I think they had a couple of balls that got into Cunha. They had a play, but they were from really long range and not very hard saves. He had one save on Perez, and that was it for St. Mary's. And Peabody, a little bit frustrated, thinking they could very easily go into the half 2-3-4 to nothing. Instead, go in at 1-1. Peabody breaks up the play. St. Mary's gets it back. And Peabody takes it away again. St. Mary's knocks it deep. Peabody will give it over to Cunha, and he'll boot it away. Peabody on the fly down the far side. Trying to cut it back to the middle. Nice little shake and bake. Blocked. Shot from long range. It got tipped. It went off a St. Mary's player. Out in front, Peabody will get a corner kick. And that's basically where the first half went. Peabody taking it down deep, trying to get it to the net. St. Mary's having to defend. And they had to really say thank you at the end of the half, having a score 1-1. Hooked out in front, headed away by St. Mary's. And cleared away by St. Mary's. It skips past, we got a foot race. Peabody's going to knock it all the way back to Cunha, and he'll kick it away. That was 1-on-1. Trying to have speed take over. Peabody got there first and just tipped it back to Cunha. Peabody trying to walk in. They walk right in. They take it away, and they just got a piece of it. St. Mary's knocked it loose. Peabody reached around, got a foot on it, and knocked it. St. Mary's, again, they knocked it right into Gallego's lap. He didn't have to move for that save. A good save by Gallego, but they knocked it right in his lap. Peabody frustrated again. Broken up. Peabody tips it loose. And Peabody takes it away. Down the far side. They get it to the middle. Line up the shot. Just missed. Going inside the near post. Rifle of a shot that just went wide, not by much. I think that was the freshman, Maciel. Peabody keeps it alive. They knock it loose. They'll collect down the far side. They knock it by, and we got a St. Mary's player getting knocked down, and St. Mary's will get to kick it away. They knocked the ball around, and then when both players went to go get it, looked like an inadvertent, but it was still a trip taking the St. Mary's player down. Peabody keeps it in. From the far side, down deep, trying to throw it in front. Gallego makes the save. Bobbled it momentarily, but jumped on it right away. And again, Peabody all over St. Mary's. They knock it deep, and they call St. Mary's offside. Nice pass to the near side. They look like they're going to break in alone. And St. Mary's got too much of a head start. That was Joshua Ches. Gallego come out, pick off that long pass, and boot it away. Peabody winds up with it, coming back. Trying to center it. It gets through. Gallego plays it with a white shirt running right in front of him as he grabbed it and held on. Knocked down by Peabody. Ball stays in the St. Mary's end. St. Mary's sees Peabody take it away. Down the far side. St. Mary's got a piece that knocked it out. Yeah, they're calling it off Peabody. I thought St. Mary's stuck a foot and knocked it away. Peabody collects. Sliding it to the middle. Fake taking the shot. Trying to take it to the net. Broken up by St. Mary's. One too many passes by Peabody that time. And St. Mary's bangs it out. And he banged it out off Mejia. First time St. Mary's has been down this deep in a very long time. He tried to get it back to Perez, and he knocked it out of play. Trying to knock it deep. They knocked it off St. Mary's. Peabody stopped like they were going to call a hand check or a hand touch. Peabody again, right back in the St. Mary's end. It's been there most of the first half and almost all of the second half from long range. If that's on net, it's a tough shot. It sailed wide right, high, and out of play. Off of St. Mary's head. Peabody trying to collect, and they do. Knocked away. Looking for a break. Down the near side. Lost it. Contact galore. They knock it home. They kept working. Initially, he tried to get the shot off. It got blocked, knocked away. Then it got knocked back, and Perez walked in and knocked it home. He made a great rush. There was bumping and banging, and Peabody had the ball for seemed like an hour in St. Mary's territory. Had a couple of shots on net, couldn't get it to go, missed the net a couple of times, and then up comes St. Mary's with their first trip. Perez battling and fighting with the defender, couldn't get the shot off. It deflected away right to a St. Mary's player who got it back to Perez, and he knocked it home. Peabody gets there and knocks it in. It popped up, it bounced around off a defender. Gallego, just before he could get it, Joyce knocked it in. That's his second goal. So it didn't take long for Peabody to get right back in it. That little momentum that St. Mary's had, taken away quickly. That was just a little skirmish out in front, bouncing around. It got loose. Nobody could get a grip on it. Wound up going behind Gallego. Joyce went around the defender, went to the left, or Gallego's right, your left looking at TV, and he was behind everybody and knocked it in the open net. So it didn't take long to get the equal goal right back. Banging going on. Out off Peabody. Actually, they call contact against Peabody with the banging, so it'll be a free kick. And he bang it off St. Mary's, out of play. Told you Peabody had one sophomore, one freshman. The sophomore, Kyle Joyce, has scored both goals. Contact against St. Mary's. Peabody's going to get a free kick. Popped up. Peabody's going to get called for climbing the back to try and get a head on the ball. Peabody knocks it deep. Knocked away. Peabody trying to collect. St. Mary stepped in and knocked it out. A substitution for both teams. The throw right to the net, knocked away, and then they bang it off. Peabody out of play. Niccolo banged it off. The one player out in front was trying to get ahead on that free kick, and Gallego will kick it away. Skips past. Peabody knocks it upfield, and they're right back in the St. Mary's end. Down the near side, throwing it across out in front. Peabody got a hand on it and hit the post. And then they swung and missed on an open net. Peabody wide open out in front. The ball hit the post, deflected out, and there was Joyce looking for a hat trick. And he swung and missed. And they called contact back upfield at the tail end of that play. And St. Mary's will get to kick it away. They were that close to taking the lead. Off the middle of the top crossbar. Battling. Peabody wins the battle. Tipping it to the middle. They get it back. Trying to walk in. Deflected away. Clearing pass blocked, and now knocked into the Peabody bench area. Peabody coming back, trying to center it. St. Mary's got a piece that knocked it away. Peabody trying to get a shot to the net. They do. Gallego will play it. He bounced it, and he almost bounced it. If he waited 1 second and bounced that, there was a Peabody player bearing down on him. I think that was Fazzolo. Peabody takes it away, trying to walk in, trying to split the defense. St. Mary's has to kick it out. Joyce again. The young sophomore split the defenders. They just reached in and knocked it away. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick coming from the near side. No, it's a throw-in, but it's like a corner kick. He got it there. It bounced loose. Peabody couldn't get a foot on it. Now deflected away. Back near midfield. Peabody wins the battle, and they grabbed a hold of the shirt. Derek Garcia got a handful of shirt, trying to slow down. Sablon was going by him, and Garcia reached out, gets a handful of shirt, and he gets a yellow card. Sablon will take the free kick from about the 35-yard line from a tough angle. Once in a while, you can maybe get away with that, but he was right in front of the official. The official couldn't possibly miss that one. He almost ripped the shirt off the back of Sablon. They kicked a little ground ball. Peabody gets it back. I think they called Peabody offside anyway on that second try. Shot went wide left anyway. St. Mary's collects. Peabody knocks it back. Peabody's going to collect deep again. Boy, it's been, I know I sound like a broken record, but they've kept it in the St. Mary's end virtually this entire half. Knocked ahead. Peabody keeps it in. They knocked it behind. Sherman had to go get it. Now he keeps it in down the far near side. Throwing it in. St. Mary's out in front. The defense got a foot on it. I think that was Niccolo. Got a foot on it. Kicked it away. Didn't get to the goal. And it went out. Peabody's going to get a corner kick. And they kick it behind the net out of play. Peabody still. They knock it deep. Peabody trying to get there first. They keep it in. Luckily, it went out because when we threw it across, it went off a St. Mary's player into the net. That would have been a give back after Peabody gave them one. But they tried to save it, and they said he was out. Well, St. Mary's will kick it away. Peabody fans got a little excited when that ball went in the net. Out off St. Mary's. St. Mary's just can't get going. Peabody's just bottled them up. Yeah, one time downfield and it wound up with Perez scoring. They try to throw it in front. It goes off the side of the net, out of play. St. Mary's will kick it away. Two the score. One goal apiece in each half. One of Peabody's goals was an own goal, knocking in a shot from deep into their own net. Peabody collects and keeps it in. St. Mary's knocks it out. Peabody will get the throw in. Trying to throw it in front. Skips past. St. Mary's with a rush. They knock it deep. One-on-one, they get around, but then they slide and knock it away. Perez tipped it by the defense. They slid. They got a piece of Perez's ankle, and he's slow getting up. He hurt his back. He's trying to stretch. Peabody trying to throw it in front. Didn't get it there. Went over the net and out of play. Perez was trying to break that to the middle and back checking. Peabody slid and got a piece of the ball, knocked it away, got a piece of Perez too. He's still trying to shake it off. Knocked away by the Spartans, and they knock it out. Peabody got a head on it, but they knocked it wide of the net and out of play. Headed back by Peabody. Tipped away. They get it back. And that's been the story. St. Mary's have been back on the heels playing defense. Peabody trying to walk in, still walking in. They knock it in. They went right by everybody. Just kept going right by everybody walking in. And the ball popped loose. He went up through about 3 or 4 defenders. The ball popped out off his foot, rolled out in front, and sitting right out in front. And I think that's the young sophomore again. And it was. That's his 3rd goal. They just worked their way all the way through 3 or 4 defenders. At the last second, he just lost it right out in front of the net. It rolled off his foot. And there was Kyle Morphus. I've been giving the goal to Kyle Joyce, the sophomore. I've been reading the grade as the number, so I apologize for that. That's Kyle Morphus, who's got all 3 goals. He's a senior. I know Kyle Joyce was very happy that I'm giving him all that credit, but the way they set this up, they listed grade first and number second. And looking down the bottom of the sheet, I was looking at Kyle Joyce as 10, but that's his grade. So I apologize to Kyle Morphus, but it's nice we could straighten it out. Kyle Morphus has all 3, and Peabody has their 1-goal lead back as we're past the halfway mark of the second half. It's 3-2 Peabody over St. Mary's. So if Peabody has fought back to take the lead, they led 1-0. They gave St. Mary's a goal. The Peabody player knocking in the net off a long shot by Connor Hamill. It was 1-1 at halftime. St. Mary's came out and got a nice goal by Kevin Perez to take their first lead at 2-1. But then, and I'll give it to the right person this time, Kyle Morphus got back-to-back goals to give him a hat trick. And the last one, he didn't have to do a lot of work. I apologize for not getting the Peabody player from the far side. Just did all the work, went right by everybody, just snuck through. Just as he got in about a foot or 2 away from the goal, it slipped off his foot, rolled near the net, and there was Morphus to knock in the back of the net. Morphus just should take the young man out for a steak for that goal. He didn't have to do much. Just get his foot on the ball and knock it into virtually an open net. But St. Mary's, they got 1 good shot on net in the first half by Perez. The only time they've had the ball deep in Peabody territory, Perez got a good shot on net and scored a goal. And it's popped up, it almost went in the net. They were trying to clear it, they popped it straight up in the air. Gallego had to get 2 hands on it and knock it over the net. So quality shots by St. Mary's has only been 2. In the second half, 99% of the time, the ball has been right where it is now in the St. Mary's end. "15 minutes and counting left in this one. Peabody in this first ever game against St. Mary's, they don't take the shot, they give it back. Now they give it away, and they try to play catch, and it cost them. They knocked it out of play. So a little too much shake and bake with that corner kick. popped up. Peabody controls again. Lead pass broken up. Peabody gets it back. Out off Peabody. First time in a long time St. Mary's is going to be in the Peabody end, and not for very long, as Peabody knocks it right back. High kick right in front of the Peabody bench. Peabody tips it, and they take it away, trying to walk in. Again trying to walk in. They knock it away, but they knocked it loose, and St. Mary's has to clear it away. It was loose again in front of the net. In the middle. They try to go to the near side. It got blocked and knocked away. Now they go down the near side. Peabody has to track it down, trying to center it. St. Mary's knocks it away. From long range. Tip, they got a head on it, and they knocked it in. It skipped past to the side of the net. Gallego was on his way to try and go get it, and before he could get there, Peabody got a head on it and knocked it in. Chasing the ball right now. Down there, what's his number? 14? Right, he took the ball now. Huh? He's over there. He's at the 15 level. Just coming to the middle. Wait, yeah, he's going back to us now, walking toward the front line. Right on the 10 level. What is it? 17? Cairo Delafour got that goal. And that gives Peabody a lot more breathing room. They threw it across. St. Mary's couldn't clear it. It went by the net. Gallego took a step to his right to try and grab it and kick it away. And just before he could get there, it was Delafour getting a foot on it, a head on it, excuse me, and knocking it by. It skips past everybody. St. Mary's on the fly. Down the far side, out in front. Looking to get there. Cunha came out of the net. And then he thought better, but he was going to go out. He was too far out. They got it back. They took the shot, but they knocked it wide. Great rush down that far side. I think that was Perez again. He's played very well. Peabody heading it back. Nice job keeping it in. That was Will Machado with a very nice play. That's Machado with the pass. But he made a nice play keeping it in for Peabody. He gets the return pass, walking in. He takes the shot. Couldn't get a lot on it. A little ground ball to Gallego. But good hard work by Machado there. St. Mary's trying to knock it deep. Cunha come all the way out to the 10-yard line, way over to the far side. Almost looked like he was going to the St. Mary's bench. And now Peabody loses it off their foot, out of play. Ten minutes and counting left in this one. Peabody has put a little bit of daylight between them and St. Mary's. St. Mary's had a lead of 2-1. And then 2 consecutive goals by Morphus. And then the last one, Delafour. Gallego will kick it away. We got a whistle. St. Mary's going to get a free kick. Coming from the 40-yard line. They're going to push it back. Niccolo will take it. Niccolo started the season playing up front. Last game or two, they put him back on defense. Still trying to find their way, St. Mary's. They got a lot of new players. And we got a knockdown of Peabody. They get a free kick from the 25-yard line. From the left side, they pop it up. They get a head on it, and then deflected again, deflected right in the lap of Gallego, so they came close again. If this was horseshoes, they'd be way out in front. Bodies go down. They call it on Garcia of St. Mary's, and now pass too far ahead goes out of play. St. Mary's will get it back. Trying to walk in. Shot blocked. Nice job back defensively. That was the young freshman, Victor Maciel. And now St. Mary's player goes down. St. Mary's will get a free kick. Clock winding down here at Manning Field. St. Mary's on the short end of a 4-2 score. Now, those lightning strikes here. Peabody's going to go over 500. There were 2-2 coming in. And St. Mary's will have to wait till next week to try and win their second game. Tipped up. Peabody tipped it away. Cunha grabbed it, bobbled it, fell on it. Nobody close to getting a foot on it. And he boots it away. St. Mary's had a goal by Perez and a very good shot almost by Perez. And that's been just about it. Anything else they got was long range, and there weren't many of those because the ball, especially here in the second half, was in the St. Mary's end virtually the entire half. We're in the final 5 minutes. They tip it by. St. Mary just getting a piece and knocking it out. Peabody will get a corner kick. They almost walked in. So the first ever meeting, Peabody and St. Mary's, is going to go to the Peabody Tanners. Waiting for the kick. Knocked out by the defense. Peabody was going to score again. It got loose. They were knocking it by Gallego into the near corner. It was in. And it might have been Niccolo or Frere or LeBrun, one of the defenders, turned out to be the second goaltender and knocked it out. Now it gets knocked out by Hughes. Substitutions for both teams, 2 apiece. So Peabody almost got another one. All that pressure, they just buried St. Mary's in the second half. Didn't let them get going. The one time they did, Perez buried it to give St. Mary's a 2-1 lead. And then he came back with Morpher scoring 2 in a row. And they added the insurance. On a header by Delafour. But they just haven't let St. Mary's get going. St. Mary's just couldn't get any consistent offense going because Peabody just shut them down and kept the ball in the St. Mary's end. The defense played well. Gallego had a couple of big saves. Peabody could easily have had 5 or 6 goals. And we're going to trip from behind. Peabody will get to kick it away. Not a lot of time left in this one. This will be a tough loss for the Spartans after leading 2-1. And Peabody will be happy because they gave up. They scored a goal themselves, knocking it in their own net. And that might have cost them. Shot goes wide and out of play. So they overcame the own goal given up that at the time tied it. And then when they fell behind, with all the pressure Peabody was putting on, it looked like one of those games where you keep it in the end of the court or the end of the field or the end of the ice. And all of a sudden, once it gets to the other side, bang, it goes in, and the other team scores a goal. That's what St. Mary's did. First time they got it out of their end in the second half, Perez went down, got broken up, but then got the ball back. And he was able to knock it home. And I think they're saying that's it. They're going to blow the whistle, and that's going to do it. So Peabody scored the first goal, up 1-0. A long kick by Conley Hamill. Peabody had it. No, it's not over. I saw St. Mary shaking hands, walking to the bench. Conley Hamill drilled it from long range. Peabody defender out in front went, got it, was going to kick it out of play. Instead, he kicked it into his own net. And that made it 1-1. That's where it was at halftime. Perez had that great rush, lost it, got it back, I think, from Ches, and he banged it home to give St. Mary's their first and only lead at 2-1. And then Cal Morphus got 2 in a row to give Peabody their 1-goal lead back. And then late here in the half, it was Cairo Delafour just getting it ahead on it before Gallego could knock it away. And that made it 4-2, and that's going to be the final score now as they officially blow the whistle. So Peabody's going to go to 3-2. St. Mary's will have to wait for their first win until next week, their second win, until next week. So the first ever meeting between the Spartans of St. Mary's and the Tanners of Peabody are in the books, and Coach Stan McKean gets a jump on Mike D'Agostino as a hat trick from Kyle Morris and a little finance push by Cairo Delafour, little insurance, after St. Mary's had grabbed a 2-1 lead. Peabody wins it by a score of 4-2. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.